Welcome back to Chit Chats, everybody. My name is Antonio.
My name's Brennen.
And I'm Donovan. And let's do a chit chat.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's go.
We always do that.
Yeah, we all gotta get pumped up here.
Chit chat time.
Guys, I'm very excited to announce that today is officially, or I should say tonight rather, is officially Debate Night 1. Welcome to Debate Night 1, everybody. So, how are you guys doing tonight? First, to start off here. Doing
I
good?
just saw Free Guy with you, so pretty good.
Yeah, we literally just got back from seeing the movie Free Guy. It was pretty good.
Oh,
I recommend it.
You mean this guy right here?
Yeah, that guy right there. That guy right there. That guy. It's pretty awesome.
Check out the new Free Guy G Fuel flavor in G Fuel shop now.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Not yet.
Ryan Reynolds drinks the G Fuel. He eats gamer.
He definitely does. Definitely. Anyway, so like I said, today is a special episode called Debate Night. Let me explain the rules really quick. So we're going to go around in a circle. Each person is going to, I'm going to begin. I'm going to give Brennen and Donavan a topic. And then I'm going to choose what side of the argument they're going to debate on. So let's say the argument is apples versus oranges. I tell Brennen he has to argue for apples. Donovan, he has to argue for oranges. They proceed to give their arguments. Maybe Brennen will go first. Maybe Donovan will go second. They each get a minute. And then after they both have presented their arguments, I choose who has won that debate. And then we wash, rinse, repeat. We go around. Brennen then chooses a topic for me and Donovan. Donovan chooses a topic for me and Brennen. And we just keep going until we get about 30 minutes of it. Sound good, guys?
Yeah.
All right. So, let us get started with the first topic of the night.
Topic 1, gun laws.
No.
Maybe not. Okay. So, first topic of debate. Fortnite versus Among Us.
Oh, fuck.
So, I want Brennen to argue for Among Us, and I want Donovan to argue for Fortnite. All right? Sounds good. You got to try to make convincing arguments here. There may or may not be a prize for whoever wins the most debates tonight. Probably not, but act like there is. Okay, so without further ado, Brennen, I'm going to set a minute on the clock. You have a minute to present as many arguments for why Among Us is better than Fortnite. Okay. Are you ready?
That means I have a minute to think about my argument.
Yes, but then maybe next time I'll have you go first and Brennen go second.
Right.
See, to make it fair. Right. So, are you ready, Brennen? Do you want...
Oh, I'm so fucking ready.
You're ready? Okay, I think Brennan's ready. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
As the Christians once said, God is among us. And speaking of Among Us is an amazing game. By the way, Among Us officially posted on their TikTok today that the next update is currently in the works. So we'll have another big update to Among Us here soon. Among Us, oh man, it's having such a good run. It was such a fun game. You were being able to play with your friends for free on mobile. I was able to even play with you guys on computer, and my laptop is shitty, and I can't even run games that well. And I was still able to play with you guys. Among Us is all about gaining friends or making enemies. And even some of the enemies you make, you might come out in the end as friends. You might have an enemy one round, next round you and them are slaughtering everyone in cold blood in cafeteria. And you never know what will come out of it. Among Us is just such a powerful game. I feel like I know that it's kind of dying off in the end. Oh, shut up. It was a good run, though. I'm sorry.
All right. Very good job, Brennen. Donovan, you now have a minute to present your arguments about Fortnite. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
As the Christians once said, Fortnite. When God created the world, he created Fortnite. Fortnite is literally the greatest game ever made. Is there Joker in Among Us? Do you get to play as Ninja in Among Us? Do you get to play as Travis Scott in Among Us? No.
Yes.
You get to play as all of those characters and more in Fortnite. And the gameplay is a lot more in depth than it is in Among Us. In Among Us, it's just yelling at each other and lying to each other, which creates bad habits. But in Fortnite, you're working together with your team to accomplish a goal of being the last group alive. And that can garner a lot of close friendships, a lot better than Among Us
All right, stop.
could ever.
That's time. Okay, so you both have presented your arguments. So I want to comment really quick before I choose who won. I think Donovan made a lot of good points about Fortnite. I think he had a very good message at the end that he was trying to push. However, I think what set you back, Donovan, as opposed to Brennan's argument, was you plagiarized his opening line. Really? Really? You're better than this, Donovan.
No.
You're better than this.
Yeah, it was good. I was iterating on it. I was making it better.
No, that's just straight up freebooting from where I come from. So that definitely sets you back a little bit. Brennen.
I'm off this podcast. Bye, guys.
Brennen, I think what set you back a little bit was I don't think the message of your argument was as wholesome as Donovan, personally. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I'm going to have to give this round to Brennen.
Damn it!
So that is 1 point for Brennen.
I just destroyed the rice cake in anger. It's all over my computer.
Hey. I think you both did wonderful. Considering this was the first round, I think you both did a wonderful job. But Brennen just had a little bit over the edge. But that is not the only debate of the night. We got some more coming up. So, without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Brennen to choose the next topic.
Okay. Just real quick before I start. I got that intro from an actual video of an actual Christian using Among Us in his sermon, where he's like, as they've said, God is among us.
Oh, so you plagiarized it.
Yeah, I totally did. So anyways, the
audacity.
My topic.
Donovan, I apologize for that. That's straight up cruel.
So anyway,
but we have to move on.
Listen, I didn't plagiarize. I made that up based on I was iterative. Yeah, I know.
So anyways, Donovan,
more like derivative.
Donovan, shush.
Anyway,
we're on a time limit.
Let's continue.
Okay, so my first one. I feel like this wouldn't be a true Chit Chats without me somehow referencing Zelda. So
I figured as much.
My two debates will be which one is better, 3D Zelda titles or 2D Zelda titles. Donovan, I want you to fight for 2D Zelda titles, and Antonio, you'll be fighting for 3D Zelda titles.
All right.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Donovan go first, because since Antonio hasn't played as much Zelda, I want him a minute to think about how he could talk for his debate.
That's very courteous,
Donovan. So, Antonio, I will leave the timer to you, and Donovan, start when the timer is ready.
All right, Donovan, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
I think
arguing for 2D Zelda. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Plain and simple, 2D Zeldas can be designed a lot more masterfully than a 3D Zelda game ever could. Because they are in 2D, it allows them to make tile-based puzzles, which are harder to do in 3D space because you are only seeing it from a fixed behind the shoulder viewpoint. But in the 2D games, you see everything. So for the puzzles in specific, you're able to see the whole floor and decide how you want to solve the puzzle based on just what's on the screen. Whereas in the 3D games, the puzzles have to be a lot simpler, and they're usually not as fun because it's not as much of a puzzle. Yeah.
And that's time.
That's time.
All right. Seemed like that
Okay.
came to a nice logical end there, so that was good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
It's my
Antonio,
turn
you're
now.
up.
Okay, I gotta argue for 3D Zelda. Okay.
This one's hard.
Okay. I think I'm prepared. So,
Well, if you think this is hard, wait till my next one.
all right. I'm gonna start the timer. Showing you. I'm starting it. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So 3D Zelda. 3D Zelda is just probably the best thing that ever happened to Zelda. The moment that Ocarina of Time came out, it just set the rest of the series up for complete greatness. As much as the 2D games were very good, they set the backbone for the 3D games. And I think the 3D games have they have already explored so many different ideas, so many different wonderful concepts to bring Zelda into a much more immersive and fun and adventurous world. And the potential is out there for even more greatness in the future. Look at the 3D games and what you can accomplish in them. Ocarina of Time, big open worlds. You can go back in time. Majora's Mask, the idea of living in this world with all of these wonderful NPCs, and they're all depressed because fuck.
They're all depressed.
Okay, well that's time, I guess. Damn. A minute goes by really fast.
I know, but
Okay.
I like the idea of a minute because it's funny because it makes it feel like there's you have to rush this.
It's very there's a lot of tension. Okay.
So really, it makes you feel like you have to rush. I feel like I have to cram the fill time.
So you both did surprisingly well. I will give you that, Antonio. I will give you credit. You did better than I thought, considering that Zelda, but you haven't played as many.
I was about to make a really good point too, but
Donavan, I will give you a lot of credit on talking about the block puzzles and how the puzzles work in 2D games. I was currently stuck on a puzzle in Skyward Sword because I could not see where the corner of the outline for the puzzle was.
I know who my audience is. I speak to my audience.
Damn. You didn't know that. Shut up.
And this is hard for me because, as you all know, my favorite Zelda games are all 3D: Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, and Breath of the Wild. And it pains me to say this because even though those are my favorite, Antonio did a great argument, but puzzles are better in 2D Zelda, so I have to give this to Donavan.
I think that's well deserved. I genuinely think Donovan did better. I had a lot of points that I wanted to make, but I just didn't have enough time. So, good job, Donovan.
I decided to just focus on one aspect. Thank you.
I think that's good for a minute-long argument. I think that's probably the best way to go about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So that's 1 point for Brennen, 1 point for Donovan. I currently have not gotten any points. It's okay though. It's okay because maybe
you've only done one argument so far.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
You have one coming up right now. Should I introduce the topic?
Yes, if you would please.
Yes. What is the topic for us?
The topic for me and Brennen.
Okay, so since we went to see Free Guy tonight, it got me thinking about video game movies, and 2 video game movies that have come out in recent years that I know we have all seen are Detective Pikachu and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So, Antonio, I want you to argue for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and then Brennen, I want you to argue for Detective Pikachu.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Who would you like to go first?
We'll have Antonio go first.
Okay. I think that's fair because I haven't gone first yet, and you've gone first both times.
Right.
Other times. Okay, so I'm arguing for the Sonic movie. Okay, I'm ready. All right, starting the timer. 3, 2, 1. All right, so where do I even begin with the Sonic movie? The Sonic movie is a classic underdog's tale, right? Begins April 30th, 2019. First trailer drops. Everyone hates it. The design of Sonic is terrible. But you know what they do? They don't just sit there and take the backlash and don't do anything. They listen to the fans and they change the design. And that alone shows how much the creators of the Sonic movie cared about the fan base, cared about the people that wanted to watch it. And that made the impact of it finally coming out Valentine's Day of 2020, right before the pandemic. Last movie a lot of people probably saw in theaters before the pandemic. Made it even better. When I went to go see it with my friends, it was amazing. It was wonderful. It was heartfelt. It was wholesome. And the design of Sonic was wonderful. The concept was wonderful. Just everything about it was just a masterpiece in filmmaking. Peak cinema. I can't... Scorsese, eat your heart out because Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, is the best movie ever made. One of the best movies. Sequels coming out. All right, that's time. Okay. I'll take that. All right, so
that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good.
I think I butchered it at the end a little bit, but you know what? It's fine because now it's on you, Brennan. So you're arguing for Detective Pikachu.
Yes, which I'm glad because I've seen Sonic, but not more than once. I barely remember some parts of it, so I'm glad that Donovan gave me Detective Pikachu.
How many times have you seen Detective Pikachu?
Probably twice or 2 or 3 times.
Same here, I think. All right, are you ready to present your arguments?
I'm ready.
All right, ready? Starting the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Detective Pikachu was a movie that not a lot of people were expecting to happen, but I have to admit that once it came out, I was honestly really surprised by how well it turned out. This was the first time seeing Pokemon in live action on the big screen, right? And don't even get me started. Ryan Reynolds, amazing as Pikachu. And they did a great job designing some of the Pokemon in that movie. Psyduck. They did a great job designing some of the Pokemon in that movie. Some of the fight scenes were amazing. The story was a great story. It was honestly, like I said, way better than I was expecting a Detective Pikachu game, a video game movie made. As you all know, video game movies are not that well made. So seeing this movie made and actually having it be liked and have some actually good things and being authentic to Pokemon was nice. We got to see some legendaries that we didn't think we'd see on the big screen. We got to see more than just Gen 1. Okay.
All right.
Good job, sweet. Good job to both of you. Both of them were very, very funny. You guys had both had some very funny parts, and you also had a lot of good points. Antonio, I thought you had a really good point about how Sonic came out right before the pandemic hit, and that kind of like made it a little better. And Brennan, I liked your point about how nobody really expected the Detective Pikachu movie to come out or a Pokemon movie at all, really. But it ended up coming out and it was faithful to the games. I think Brennan made better points overall, though, so I'm gonna give it to him.
Damn it!
But that's not to say that you didn't do good, Antonio, because I thought it was very well.
Antonio did really well.
This was a really hard one to decide on. I'm kind of I wish I could do a draw because I thought both your arguments were. I know that's a cop-out answer, but
you are a worthy adversary. I applaud you.
It's a Psyduck, man. It's the
Psyduck.
Psyduck lives in me. Ryan Reynolds and Psyduck.
That's fair. That's true. That's true. Okay, I think that went well. All right. So I think we have time for all of us to do one more round of topics. Yeah. All right.
Sounds good to me.
So
sure.
With that, I will present the next topic for you guys to debate. All right. So I have a few written down here. Let's see which one I want you guys to do. Okay. All right. I think I know which one. So the topic of debate is one that I know a lot of people have debated in the past. It's a really heated argument, but we're putting a spin on it. So the argument is iPhone versus Android.
Okay.
I want Brennan to argue for iPhone, and I want Donovan to argue for Android.
Mother! So mean.
Mm-hmm. It's just how it is, dude. I don't make the rules. Oh, wait, I do. Okay.
What?
So
to clarify for people, of course, Donovan has iPhone and I have Android.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's making us vote for He's making us go against pretty much our own. He's making us vote for our own enemies.
You literally have an iPhone.
Yep.
That's where the fun of
I hate
this
you so
comes
much.
in.
Okay. Who's going first,
Okay,
Antonio?
so since did I make Brennen go first last time, or did I make Donovan go first?
You made
went
me
first.
last time. Wait, you did?
No, I went. Yeah, because remember you.
Oh, you're right.
I did Among Us first.
Okay, that's right. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
Donovan went first both times. Okay, my bad. So okay, then in that case, I want Donovan to go first. I want you to present your arguments for Android, and then after that, Brennen will present his arguments for iPhone. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. All right. So have a little second to think about it. Sort out your argument.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Timer begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's what I gotta say. The mascot. The mascot for Android is a lot more interesting. A little robot guy, a little green robot guy.
That
I like
mascot, yes.
that. He's cool. Apple doesn't really have a mascot. It's just the apple on the back. You know what I'm talking about. Just the plain old apple with the bite mark on it. This thing right here, not so interesting. It's not really a character. It doesn't really make me go, wow, that's Apple. I want to get an Apple product. But Android, I see a little guy and that's exciting. It's like, damn, they got a nice mascot. And also Android has a lot more customization options than Apple because Apple has a very strict user interface where they don't allow for a lot of customization. They like to keep it simple and they like to control how their users use their phones. But with Android, they allow for a lot more customization. So for people who really like that
All right,
and for
that's
people who are into customization, they can have that.
All right. Good job, Donovan.
Okay.
All right, Brennen, you have a minute
ready.
to present your arguments for iPhone. 3, 2, 1, go.
So even though I have an Android, I used to have an iPod Touch back when it first came out, and honestly, I loved Apple products. I still do. I just prefer Android just because I am. But when it comes to Apple, there's so many things that I will admit Apple's way better for. Don't even get me started. Apple will always be top notch in camera quality. Apple will always be top notch in camera quality. And honestly, I've always loved the design of Apple and how there's only the one button to control a lot of things, because then you have to worry about pressing multiple things at once to do stuff. And honestly, Apple will always be one of my favorite things because they always come with more storage. Android shit when it comes to storage. You have to spend a lot of money to get phones that come with a lot of storage when it comes to any Android phones. But Apple, you already come with a whole bunch of storage. Not to mention Apple has their own internet browser, which for a long time was pretty popular. Apple's designs for their apps and like the icons have always been one of the coolest things ever.
All right,
I remember back when
that's time.
That was the shittiest argument I've ever done in my life.
You had a lot of points.
What?
You had a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you had a lot of arguments. I don't feel like it was shitty at all, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think both of you did very well, considering that I put you guys on the opposite side of the spectrum of whatever you are used to. I think you guys did very well. So good job.
I just argued for like don't take this away from me if you're gonna give me the point. I'm just saying I only took arguments from people that I've argued with over the Android versus Apple thing. So like these were not my original points.
That's
fair.
That's fair. Hey, back then I went for the whole plagiarism angle, maybe not necessarily going for it this time, since there is apparently some debate on who is plagiarizing from who here. But anyway, so for this, I want to give it to both of you. I think you guys made some good points. Donovan, I like the angle that you went out with the mascot. A lot of people don't really, at least for me, I don't usually think of that.
When he was talking about the mascot, the first thing I thought of was that hot girl Sam that Samsung made. And I thought he was talking about her, and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. That would have been an angle to explore. But I like I also agree. As someone who has had both an iPhone and an Android, I do like the look of the Android mascot. I also think the point that you made about Android being more customizable was a good aspect, because as an iPhone user in the modern day, I think that is something that Apple's lacking in. Now, Brennen, I think you had a lot more arguments than Donovan. I think those were his two arguments. I think you brought up a lot more of a variety of different arguments, which was good. You talked about the storage, you talked about the look, you talked about, you know, other things that I slipped my mind at this moment, but I know that there was a lot of them.
You talked a lot about a lot of shit. I only remember two, but you talked about a lot of shit.
But you did. Well, it's the variety of different points that you brought up that I want to give credit to. One thing that stuck out to me that I don't like is you started your argument saying that you prefer Android, and I think when you're trying to argue for the other side of the coin, I think that's it kind of holds you back a little bit. You know what I mean? Donovan, however, although he was arguing for the side that he is not accustomed to, he rather used his product to illustrate a flaw of the Apple brand, and I think that was very effective. He held up his iPhone and pointed to the Apple logo to illustrate the lack of, appeal that the Apple logo has, and I think that was a very good angle to go with. So, because of that stuck out to me. So I'm going to have to give this one to Donovan. Good job, Tom.
You really gave that to me for that?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
I honestly thought that you won that one too.
Like I said, I think Brennen did really good.
Yeah, I would have given it to Brennen for sure.
Hey,
but I appreciate
I'm the one that chooses. Okay, I choose who wins. Okay.
Okay.
And if anyone is watching and wants to comment who they think won a certain argument, feel free to. But that's just my personal preference. So with that, Brennen, would you like to introduce? Congratulations, Donovan. Brennen, would you like to introduce the next topic?
Okay, well, this one's gonna be fun for the two of you to discuss, because would both of you say, like Donovan, I know you play other stuff, but would both of you say you're pretty Nintendo-based players? Like you play a lot of Nintendo stuff, right?
Right.
Like Donovan, I know you play other stuff, but still, like you're a lot of Nintendo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I haven't played.
So like my debate is which style of game is better? Story forced game where you follow a certain story all the way through, or choose your own adventure games where you choose whether to be good or bad, or you choose, like in one chapter, a character has a gun and they either get rid of it or keep it, and that will cause later in the game to either be in trouble because they don't have the gun or shoot their way out because they have the gun. So it's either choice-based games or story-forced games. Okay.
I think I understand.
That's interesting.
So like I'll give a small example. So like story-forced games would be like Ocarina of Time, where you have to get the 3 gems, and then you have to pull the Master Sword, and then you have to do the 7 dungeons, and then you fight Ganon.
Mm-hmm.
Story choice games is like in my game Infamous, where you either choose to be good and prove to the government that people with powers can be good, or you choose to be evil and overthrow the government. Or like in the game I'm playing right now, I chose to be mean to this one girl, and now I didn't get invited to a party. So when I play chapter 5 later, I have to sneak into the party instead of just being able to go right in. Okay, make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, who I want to debate? I want Antonio to debate for story forced games, and I want Donovan to debate for choose your adventure games.
All right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, and Donovan is going to go first again.
Okay.
I'm going to go first again. Again.
Sorry, dude.
Again.
This is how Brennen wants it, so that's how it goes.
Oh, Brennen, you're killing me here. Okay.
All right, got the timer ready. Are you ready, Donovan?
Hold up. Give me like 2 seconds to just breathe.
Okay, you ready, Donovan?
Okay. All right, go.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So yes, of course, the games with more options and more paths are always a better thing, because it allows the player to make their own choices about how they want the game to end. This is hard. I will say that I have not played a lot of games where it is not like story focused where it's just following one line. But the ones that I have played, I've been really into because it is interesting to get a lot of different endings to the game. Whereas just choosing one ending, it just kind of feels like I completed the game. Like there's no reason to go back to it. So it lends itself for a lot of like replayability. And
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
And
I feel so bad for Donovan.
I just want to let you know that I would have like had the same amount of like anxiety and like
Yeah,
non.
I know. Remember how I told you? Remember how I told you? I don't think I had to worry about like mine like overlapping with your guys's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say that's a creative topic. I wouldn't have thought of that. So yeah. Okay. So I guess it's my turn now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Antonio will be fighting for story-driven games.
Story-driven games. Okay, gotcha. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So story-driven games. What's not to love about story-driven games? When you have a clear and concise story to follow, there's no sense of confusion. You just follow the beaten path. Hey, maybe sometimes in a story-driven game, you'll get some choices in there. But most importantly, you have a clear goal. You have a clear set of goals. Look at Ocarina of Time, for example. You can go virtually anywhere you want, but there's a story for you to follow. A good story at that, I might add. You follow it. It makes you want to follow the story because of how good it is. You know what I mean? Games like that do. And not only does it just make you want to follow it, but it gets you more involved in the world of these characters, and you meet all of these new characters, and in a story, in a game where you have to choose your own, you might not catch every character that the game has to offer. You might miss some. You might go off the beaten path and just completely miss them, and that's no fun. You don't want to do that. With a story-driven game, it's just way better, and that's time.
Mm.
All right.
Okay, so I will start off by saying that you both at least did better than I thought you would. Especially you, Donovan. I know you still had trouble, but you did better than I thought. So the 2 points that both of you drew really good on. Donovan, you talked about replayability, about how you can play it multiple times and get multiple different endings. One of my favorite games ever, Detroit Become Human. You play as 3 different characters throughout the game, and one of the characters, you choose him to be good, it affects the ending for one of the other characters where she gets to escape and be free. But if you choose him to be bad, then she actually gets put in prison and gets tortured. So you can get 2 different endings depending on how different you play the game. So that was a good choice there, Donovan. But Antonio also brought up a good talk about how when you're doing a story-based game, everything's already set and way to go. I was playing my game last night. I was playing Life is Strange, and I was having a hard time, stressful time, because there's a character who's super depressed in the game. She was trying to kill herself. So I had to sit there and think of the right things to say to try to keep her alive, because either you keep her alive or you don't.
Damn.
And so I had to sit there and read these and think super hard and super stressful of, okay, what's the right things to say to keep her alive?
Mm.
So you both had really good. I also feel like Antonio tried to like lean a little bit by talking about Ocarina of Time.
That definitely helped. Like,
let's bring up a Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is a hard one. You both did better than I expected, and you both brought up big things that make me want to fight for both. I'm super proud of both of you, especially you, Donovan. You gave way more than I expect you would for not really playing those type of games, but especially after what I had to deal with last night with Kate on trying to commit suicide or keeping her alive, I think I have to give the point to Antonio.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Also Antonio just had a little bit more fluent and kept the conversation going. Donovan had a lot of stuttering, and I know that's just because Donovan doesn't know that much about.
That's my strong
as soon as you assigned me to that side, I was like, oh shit.
Well, and you had to go first, which was hard because I had time to think about my arguments while you were going.
Yeah.
So
I think I couldn't think of any games I've played that are like that. The only one I could think of was Detroit, actually, which is one that you were talking about. What do you prefer personally, Brennan?
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I love the choice-based games.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new there's a new Life is Strange coming out right now. I'm probably gonna pre-order it, and then I played like Detroit Become Human multiple times. I got multiple endings on that. And then like I said, I played all the Infamous games, and in all those games, you either choose to be a hero or choose to be a villain, and so each one has different endings and different cutscenes and shit like that. So
For sure.
I prefer choose your story games, but when it came to the fight between the two right now, I think Antonio just had a little bit more leeway on it than Donovan did.
I will say that I don't think I've ever played a game that's like choice based, like in that way. So like if you gave me that, I literally would have been screwed.
It probably would have been the same as Donovan.
Yeah, probably. I probably would have been in that bad of a place. But Donovan, you did good considering, I think. So
yes, Donovan did very good
job.
considering.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear Donovan's last
All
one.
right. Larry, last topic for me and Brennan.
Well, we all play Nintendo games, obviously. We've established that. But I want to focus on the other video game companies.
Oh, no.
And you already know where this is going.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be mean like Antonio and switch it up on Apple and Android. I'm going to let Antonio, who owns an Xbox, advocate for Xbox, and Brennen, who owns a PlayStation, advocate for PlayStation.
Oh, shit. All right.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a real debate going on here.
You're a lot nicer than I am, I'll say that.
All right.
Okay, so who do you want to go first?
Who did I have go first last time?
I think you had me go first last time.
Okay, I'll have Brennan go first then.
Okay.
Especially since you made me go first twice.
Yeah, I was expecting you to just make me go first because of that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready.
You ready? All right. 1 minute on the clock.
Fight. Yeah. Actually, wait. Hold on. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hold on. Stop. Actually, just real quick.
What do you?
I have to clarify something with Donovan. Do you mean PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One, or PlayStation as a brand and Xbox as a brand?
I'm just meant as a brand, but I feel like it'd be more interesting if we did. Let's do PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't sure if we are just talking about the console or like the brand as altogether.
If you want to talk about the brand too, that's fine.
Okay. I'm ready now. I just didn't want to fuck up. I wanted to clarify.
No problem.
Yeah,
no more resetting. No more
resetting. No, that was
just trying to find more time.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Donovan's figured me out. Yeah. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. The PlayStation 4 is one of the best consoles I think there is. It did sell more than Xbox when the Xbox One first came out, and it is still sold more than the Xbox One. Most people on the internet have actually confirmed that they like the PS4 more than the Xbox One. One of the things that PS4 will always have over Xbox was Fortnite was free to play, no matter whether you had Plus or not. Xbox likes to do some really weird deals with their gold where they'll either cancel it on you or not let you buy one because the new console's coming. PlayStation never does that to you. PlayStation has some of the best exclusive games out there, including God of War, Spider-Man, and just some of the greatest games. Don't even get me started on the PlayStation background theme. It is just lovely. It is amazing. Some of the dynamic themes that you get for PlayStation on your background with having characters and
Sorry to cut you off.
You bitch.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything until Antonio's going.
Okay, gotcha.
Go whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Shit.
You got this, man.
Okay. You have to understand, as I do own an Xbox, but I don't play it very often.
Right.
So
I think I feel like this is a little biased for Brennen because he played his PS4 more than you played your Xbox.
It's fine.
I'm still glad you argued for it.
Okay. It's better than if you wanted me to argue for Sony. So, Okay. So 3, 2, 1. All right. So here's the thing. You guys know me. I'm a Nintendo guy, but I gotta hand it off to Xbox, man. The thing about Nintendo, I want to bring this point up about Nintendo. They gotta stay family friendly for the most part, and I feel like that's where Nintendo lacks in a lot of cases. With Xbox specifically, I think that they have delved into the range of mature games a lot. Like in Call of Duty, for example, or like games like horror games out there that are rated R, those are usually, pretty good. Nintendo wouldn't dare touch some of those. You know what I mean? I don't need to name examples. You know what I'm talking about. What else to say about Xbox? What isn't there to say about Xbox? The controller. I think the feel of the Xbox controller is just so nice. The Xbox 360 controller, one of the best game, controllers I've ever held. And the Xbox One feels even better in my opinion. I mean, I have more of a reference for the Xbox One, but that's just how I feel. And fuck, I'm done already.
Okay.
I had more arguments again, but I couldn't get to them. Damn it. All right.
Damn. All right, man.
There's two funny things I want to say
Give it
about
to me
Antonio's argument. There's two things I want to say about Antonio's argument, but I'm going to wait for after Donovan picks a winner.
Okay.
And they're not bad. It's just something funny that he talks about that I think will be funny to bring up.
So I'm just going to say from the start, you didn't do a bad job, Antonio, but I'm going to give it to Brennan.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't remember who did I give it to last time? I gave it to Brennan as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You didn't do a bad job. I know this one was probably a little bit harder for you.
It shouldn't have been as
Brennan.
hard as it was, honestly. I should have done it better, but oh well.
Yeah, I feel like it, especially when it comes to the Xbox One versus PS4, I feel like there's more in Sony's ballpark anyways for that. And like I'm trying not to be biased here, obviously, but I just feel like Brennan had more points to choose from, where it was harder to argue for Xbox One. But I will say it kind of felt at the beginning like you were arguing for Nintendo versus Xbox, because you were specifically calling out their differences and saying how Nintendo doesn't make like more mature games. But I also feel like PlayStation also makes those mature games. So I kind of like just ignored that point entirely because it didn't really feel relevant to the argument. But your other argument about the controller, the Xbox One does have a really nice controller. I like their controller a lot more than the DualShock. So I'm going to give you credit for that. Brennan, you had a lot of points. I liked your point about the exclusives. I think that's a really good point. And you just had more. Huh? What'd you say?
It's a typical angle to go with, but whatever.
I know. I'm sorry. It's what I would have said too.
It's probably what I would have said if I had to argue.
So the two funny things that I was, I don't think either one of you know one of them, but Antonio was talking about how like Nintendo doesn't do much horror games, but I think there's like 3 horror games in the works right now coming to the Switch. Like one of them being like the photo one, like the Lady of Blackwater or something like that. That's coming out soon on the Switch.
I literally pulled that out of my ass. Like that was not a good argument.
And then he was talking about the great games that Xbox had, and he said Call of Duty. Xbox does have Call of Duty, yes. But I don't know if either one of you knew this, but Activision actually has a contract with Sony, so everything Call of Duty PlayStation gets first. Like we get more access to betas, and we get like the games first, and like we get like exclusive content and stuff like that.
And Antonio, you've never played Halo or like Gears of War or Ori and the Blind Forest, which are like probably Xbox's 3 biggest exclusives, right? I mean, you play a little bit of Halo, but
dude, I will always
advocate for the exclusives when you've never played them. So
yeah, well, and also if I argue, like Brennan already argued for Sony's exclusive, and I feel like that's a stronger point for Brennan to make rather than me. But that did cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to mention
Sony has great exclusives, but I mean PlayStation has great exclusives, but so does Xbox. Like I will always be mad that Halo is Xbox only.
That's true. Halo. I know Halo's a really like as much as it's like one of the only ones, it's a really big one. So I definitely could have went with that point, but I was on my toes, dude. I crumbled.
Yeah. Antonio should have just been like, to win this argument, I have 1 point. Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that's
Halo.
it.
Enough said.
I do agree. I like the button layout for the PS4 controller, but the shape and feel of an Xbox One controller is better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I could get like an Xbox One controller, but like with the button layout of a PS4.
I wanna bring up one thing. I didn't make this point obviously, but I wanna say this because I want to see if it would have like affected my argument at all. I wanted to bring up that one of the exclusives for Xbox is Rare games, and I know since Donovan is a big like platformer fan of like
Right.
Super Mario, I feel like
When
that
you
would have been.
started talking, when you started talking about Nintendo, I thought you were going to talk about Banjo Kazooie and
I
the rare
should have.
collection they
I
have.
really should have.
That definitely would have pushed you, I think, a little bit more over the edge.
Because I think you're right. I think I shouldn't have went for like the Nintendo versus Microsoft angle because that's not really like what the debate was. So, but that's just what came into my mind. But yeah.
Right.
All right. So I think I haven't really been keeping track of like who's won each one, but I think Brennan's
it
won the
was
most. I'm pretty sure.
I won 3 because
Yeah.
I won the Among Us, the Detective
Yeah.
Pikachu, and then this one.
Uh-huh.
And then Donovan won.
I think I won 2, and then
and then I
Tony
won 1. Yeah, that makes sense because
Okay.
it's 3 and then 2, 3. So that's
Yeah.
6. So we did 6. So that adds up.
Because Antonio won the story driven, and then Donovan won the 2D Zelda and the
iPhone one, I think.
Yeah, the iPhone one. Yeah, the iPhone.
Well, he arguing for Android, but yeah, that one.
Yeah. He won for Android.
Yeah.
All right.
Congrats, Brennan.
Yeah, good job, Brennen.
You
win.
You should join a high school debate club.
Yeah, you're the official winner of Debate Night 1. I think this was fun, though. I think we could do this again, definitely.
Dude, I would so be down to do this again.
Yeah.
I have more fun.
So, like, I won't even have to come up with new topics next time we do it. I'll just have them in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. I just still need to make. I only have one left.
No, I actually only I made like 7 topics, so we could, and I only used 2. I thought we were gonna go for 3, but I think 2 is good because we've done it for a while now. So but yeah, so yeah, thank you guys for joining me. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was really fun.
And I'm officially out of rice cakes.
And Donovan has eaten all of his rice cakes.
I'm officially out of ginger ale.
You know what that means, and Brennan has run out of ginger ale, which means that we've reached the logical end of this episode of Chit Chats. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Got more videos coming as always. Brennan and Donovan, thank you guys for joining me as always. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of Chit Chats. Bye-bye.
Bye, jazz hands.
Brennan, do jazz hands.
Brennan, do jazz hands. Brennan, do jazz hands. Brennan, I'm punching you through the screen.
We don't get it. Okay, new debate. Should Brennan do jazz hands or should not do jazz hands?
Yes, he should.
Yes, he should. Do them. Yes. Okay, we're good. We can end it now.